Who do we have here?
This is Icky.
Hi,
Icky
Icky.
girls, and this is Joe Blackie.
Hi, Blackie.
And that's Snow White.
Hi, sweeties. So, what's your name? Where are you from? What are you doing here?
My name is Gordon Smith. I'm from Charlotte County, Florida.
Okay. And I heard you were a retired detective too?
I'm a retired,
Okay.
detective sergeant.
What are you doing coming out here?
I've been involved with animals. I had a canine at one point when I was on the police department. When I retired, it just seemed like a good thing to do to keep me involved with animals. So I've been involved with Angie for probably about 10, 11 years.
So you fly out here from Florida several times a year to participate in these?
Whenever she picks up the phone and says, or sends me an email and says, "Can you come out?" I'll come out.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, so just if you could just explain what's happening today and what it means to you and what you're doing here.
Well, today we are providing free spays and neuters and vaccines for the community dogs. And all of us are volunteers. We come a lot from New Mexico. Jenny and one of the techs, Amy and I, come from Minnesota, and we come from a few times a year to help out. So the people bring their pets and they get looked at to make sure they seem healthy for anesthesia. Then they get sedated, and some of the girls get them ready for surgery. They bring them over to us. We spay and neuter them, and then they go to the ladies over in recovery and they recover them and provide vaccines for them when they're awake. And the people pick their pets up usually in a few hours, all free of charge.
And where do you guys live?
We live in La Jara.
Beautiful. And how'd you hear about this?
Flyers.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So, Link, how long have you been doing this with these guys?
It's been a long time. I'm guessing like 6 or so years at least.
Wow. And where are you from? Are you from
I'm Australian originally, and then I worked in Asia for a bit, ended up in the United States, and then when I retired about 8 years ago, I began working in the animal rescue, animal welfare industry, and then I was lucky enough to find Helping Paws Across Borders.
So what does it mean to you doing this kind of work? What resonates with you about this?
I love helping the communities. Like I absolutely love animals, don't get me wrong, but I also just love, I know what the impact we're having on the reservation here and the communities around here. The people are just so grateful when we can come in and give their pets high quality vet care free of charge, and you can see from the demand here too that it's very much appreciated, and it's the smiles from the people that I think keep me coming back year after year.
This is an odd question maybe, but how does New Mexico compare to Australia?
It's different. It's got its challenges. Australia's a little bit more controlled, and there's much more legislation around animal care and things, so you don't quite have the overpopulation of stray animals there. But certainly, you know, New Mexico is no different than many parts of the world and many parts of the United States as well. So there's never a shortage of work for us, put it that way.
And what do you do for these guys?
I predominantly do what we call it pre-med. So we get the dogs, make sure that they're ready for surgery, like they're healthy enough to do surgery, and we get the first round of drugs on them to sedate them enough so that we can safely get them totally knocked down and ready for surgery. And then just any job that's required, really. If they need a dog carried from one part of the facility to another, I'll help. If there's a dog that needs extra handling skills, then I'll come step in and do what I can to keep everyone safe and injury free, including the animals.
He just wants to take your picture. He ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah. What's his name?
Diesel.
Diesel?
Yep.
That's a great name.
We are in here cleaning instruments and making surgical packs for the doctors. And we're cleaning the breathing tubes so that the folks in knockdown can set up the animals for surgery. That's what we're doing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. Here's some of the tubes over there. If you do this, there'd be no plenty.
Everybody plays a key role, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Hi, I'm Jim Kaplan. I work in discharge. The last part of the process here, I meet with the individual pet owners, and I go over home care instructions with them, talk about the vaccines that have been given to their dog or cat, and give them medication for the dog or cat for the very little bit of discomfort that they might feel as they're recovering from the surgery for 2 to 3 days. And that whole process just takes 5, sometimes 10 minutes, and they're delightful. My experience with everyone, with very few exceptions, has been the people have been warm, very appreciative that we're here doing this, and I've enjoyed working with them. I like doing it.
Hi, you're doing good. You're doing good, Zena. Good job.